Welcome back to another episode of the Fish Talks Junior podcast. In today's episode, we have another very special guest with us. Ladies and gentlemen, say hi to Omar. It's going. We'll keep going. We're going to begin today's episode with a quick game of charades. So, in order to play this game, we are getting 30 seconds each. And I'll be having 5 words to describe to Omar. And Omar has to guess the 5 words in less than 30 seconds. The words will be written by Andy and given to me now. Thank you. Ashton Hall. Omar, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. You can start the timer when I start speaking.
Okay.
Okay. It's an aquatic animal.
Go. Body language only.
Really? How am I supposed to do this?
That's a challenge.
No way.
That is easy. Body language.
God, okay. Let me try. I'm gonna go in. You guys restart the time. I'm sorry. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Set.
Again, I'm gonna deliver the.
Ready, set, go.
Yes. It's like.
A gate.
Yes. Second.
The waterfall. A rainbow. The cloud.
Yes.
A dog. A horse.
Okay.
What was that?
Oh wait. So I got 2 right. Gate and cloud. So what was I? I was doing this for third.
Frog.
Hawk. Never mind.
Okay, that's just sad.
It's my. Okay. Thank you so much.
So, my turn?
Yes. Now it's the turn of Omar to play the game.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay, let me just go through them.
You can keep the board on the floor
Too
and stuff.
easy.
Too easy. Okay.
Okay. Go.
Oven, tray, pizza. Baby? Fridge. Okay. Bird. Crow, eagle, penguin. Peacock.
Okay.
What was it?
Wasn't that good though? My hint.
Yeah.
What was it?
Owl. Yeah.
You saw the word? Was it an owl?
It's obvious. What other bird does a 360?
Okay. That can be specific knowledge. He does. I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
You could have just said like no sound at all, is it? No sound at all. You could have said. You could have made sounds, but.
What are the words though?
So, if I had not told this, I think you would have gotten all of them.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
about how smartly you can choose the words.
Alright, now that we are done with the charades, let's get into the podcast. Omar,
Yes.
please introduce yourself.
I'm Umar Hakim. I'm 16 years old.
What are your hobbies and ambition?
Ambition, quite stressed about that, but not. I don't have a clear idea, but I'm working on that. As in, from whatever hobbies or whatever I pick up on the way, it'll eventually lead up to somewhat of an ambition. And for hobbies, I play a couple games. Everyone does that.
Video games.
And on and off, I do like to take pictures and videography. For hobbies, that's about it.
So if you were to put it like hobbies leading to ambition, you would be a photographer in future? Or a videographer, event organizer?
I would like the word event organizer.
Event. Okay. Cool. Okay. So how's your journey like with pufferfish? Like how did you start? When did you start?
Okay, as I remember, it was like 2 years ago. my mom came up to me and she showed me this thing. I was at that time I was playing a game, so I was like very bothered by it. I was like, okay, fine, I'll go into it. Okay, I'll do it later. Show me it later. I really did not want to join, but then she showed me it, and then I was like, wait, isn't that Anderson? Because he was on social media at that time. I was like, okay, I definitely want to meet him and everything. So I joined, and it was like I wasn't really shy. I wouldn't say I was shy because during the COVID times, everyone was locked in, and besides going on online classes and everything, there's another side where you make online friends. Maybe not people you know in real life, but people you meet on the internet. So I used to go on these voice chats, public voice chats, at the age of 12.
Okay.
Someone at that age should not be on.
Yes.
And I remember the first call with some random people was like very nerve-wracking. I was like shivering. Okay, there's people from abroad talking to me. And yeah, from that on, I made a couple friends online.
While playing games.
Playing games.
Discord and those applications.
And exactly, Discord.
Discord, okay.
And I remember for some time I was a video editor for one of my friends I met on there. And it was good to meet people that I would be able to relate to in topics and everything because it's universal on the internet. And then as soon as quarantine and COVID-19 came to a stop, it was very hard because you're hit again with reality. Have to interact with people,
Yes.
real life. So going to school was very, say, lonely. Like you had to go 6 hours with like 6-7 hours.
Without a phone.
Without a phone, not only without a phone, you had to talk with people in person. So that was definitely a challenge. And most of the time I would be very quiet in class, like very quiet. And yeah, let me think again. Yeah, topics with friends. I like some of them didn't play the games I would play. They wouldn't have the same interests as me. So that just led me to be a very loner in school. It's quite a common story actually nowadays.
Yeah.
So at that time, I joined the public speaking course, and it went well.
What were you expecting to learn when you were joining? Was it just because Anderson is here, it's cool, let me go and just be in session? Or were you really expecting to learn or just for the vibe of it?
I would say both. Because I definitely feel like it was quite fun coming every Sunday, going to class. It was definitely a thing to look forward to. And I really picked up a lot of confidence, not just public speaking, but confidence. And that really helped me break this outer shell I had around me, So by then, my friends would tell me back then, you were a very mysterious dude. You were like so quiet, but quite wise. So then on top of, let's say, grade 7, 8, I started talking a lot, like whether it be people 2-3 grades above or 2-3 grades below, I would just talk. Even with teachers, I started to break that circle that was blocking them from, talking to me. So I definitely widened my circle, widened my friend groups and connections. Even on day-to-day activities, I definitely felt a change.
Yes. What was the leading factor that helped you become more confident to talk to juniors and seniors? Talking to seniors is fine because you feel cool, like, oh my god, seniors. But talking to juniors, that requires a different level of confidence. You have to go to their level.
Yeah, they definitely will roast you.
How?
I mean, you must have some experience.
Yeah, I get the experience, but how did you develop the confidence? What helped you develop the confidence to go to that level?
Well, it's mostly you look at them and then you picture yourself at that time. You picture yourself. You think most of the time they would like to talk to you, but you as an elder wouldn't really want to interact with them.
Yes.
So I look at them and they have lots of things to talk about. So just to lend a ear, I would talk to them back. Yeah.
True. Are you in any leadership positions in school, like games captain or prefectship or anything?
Yes, I am a prefect at school.
Okay.
Yeah, and recently we did start football, and I'm on the football team in school. So yeah.
How is it like to be a leader, and how important is it to communicate with clarity as a leader? Is communication important as a leader, or can you be a leader without communication?
Oh, most definitely communication, because clear orders first, but not orders, maybe just communicating at first.
Yes.
So just to, I would say, give out your word with clarity, and not to be like a commando, like a, what do you call, a politician, but maybe a friend, a guide. You know, that's definitely what you want
Yes.
as a characteristic, as a leader.
Yes. I have a personal question.
Yeah.
Now, you're in the football team as well.
Yes.
Now, while we play football with friends or the team, we have a very big communication issue. Like, we told you to pass it to me. No, why did you shoot it? Now, see, no goal. This happens very often.
Yes.
How can communication, how to solve that problem? Because it's always a conflict.
You know what? I may not have an answer for that.
We'll link it in the description.
Because, I mean, you must know as well. It's still a problem nowadays, even in the World Cups. It's still a problem.
Yes. Talking of football, who is your idol?
I don't.
Ronaldo, Messi, or anyone else beyond that?
Messi.
Okay, cool.
No more questions.
Okay. Why Messi? That can be a question.
It's like I'm not talking about mindsets or skills, nothing like that. Just find that
Just the
Ronaldo.
play.
Ronaldo's a bit overrated.
Okay.
I'm not like big fan of players. Like, I'm not really biased to anyone. Just for namesake, I just say Messi, because everyone is gonna say Ronaldo, Ronaldo.
Okay, this could be a Ronaldo versus Messi debate, but I'm not a Ronaldo fan per se. I'm a fan of his mindset and his discipline.
That's good. That's
So
definitely.
they say Ronaldo is hard work, Messi is talent. So that is the argument. That is the answer to the argument as well. That is how the mindset, everything comes up. But you're a Messi fan. Let's leave it there. Cool. Let's come back to being a prefect. What was your biggest challenge in communication? Because as a prefect, you'll have to communicate with the higher management, the juniors, the teachers, the friends. The friends will treat you in a different way. How are you managing it?
Well, you want me to talk about a journey first, and then move on
Let's
to that?
dive into the communication area.
Okay, sure. So I was, when you're a prefect, you're kind of expected to communicate, aren't you? You know?
Yes.
Yeah. So from being just a normal class boy to having to go in the ground when the principal calls you down, go to every teacher when you get called, you know, lift chairs, do schoolwork like that. It definitely is quite important communicating, you know. Like, I once had to go and I learned this lesson hard. I just had joined this public speaking course and I had learned the importance of using hand gestures. So I got called to the principal's office, and there's a principal, you know. I'm using a lot of hand gestures.
Okay.
Like a lot. This is my second time. I'm using a lot of hand gestures, and my sister's right there in front, right here. Okay. And he's like, look at your sister, not using any hand gestures. Look at you, like a clown, doing all this and that. So that was quite an experience. Now we're just, like I said, it's quite.
Yeah. Imagine you get caught hitting someone and using hand gestures. I caught him like this and I smashed his face. In front of the principal, you do all the hand gestures.
I am definitely not one of those who fight. But
Okay.
peace,
Why were you
peace.
caught for that? In the principal's office.
That was.
Let's not talk about it then.
No, it's not bad. I just kind of snuck in my phone into school.
Okay.
Old trick. Yeah.
Okay. So your sister was brought to
No,
as a guardian.
No, she was there in the school at that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What is the biggest lesson that you have learned from the course at Pufferfish that helped you in your journey as a prefect and as a football player?
I would say being humbled.
Tell me more about it.
Okay. When I joined this course, I kind of had a bit of confidence that it'll be easy and it'll be like a slipping on a glove, But then it came to going up on in front of a crowd, which I usually don't do. Usually it's like on a group chat with 1 or 2 people. So seeing many faces, like many unfamiliar faces, that brought a lot of, anxiety. And from just talking out loud to being very shy and looking all over the place, trying to not meet any of their eyes. So it definitely taught me that, it's not going to be easy, but the outcome was very great. So hard work,
Talk about the experience of delivering the speech in front of like about 100 people.
I
Must be, yes. How was the experience?
It was great. It was very great. It was a very calm day. Everyone gave their nice.
You were calm when delivering the
I mean,
speech.
nobody was calm.
Okay.
After it, kind of relaxed. I remember interacting with a couple of the kids in the crowd, and it was very nice. Having to deliver that speech. I kind of maybe or may not have left out half of the speech I had prepared to because I interacted a bit too much outside of what my topic was. But it was a great day actually. Yeah.
That's still a good thing. You were impromptu on stage.
Yeah.
Yes. So as a coach, Omar, when learners come to the milestone, they look at me and be like, I'm scared. They look scared. And I talk like a big shot. I'm like, don't be scared. It's just your people. Until I was put into a situation as a contestant, not as a coach, not as a teacher. I was put as a competitor. And recently I took part in a competition and my name was about to be called. It's a competition and I am number 2. The first speaker was delivering his speech and I was in a moment of distress there. My heart was racing. My hands were sweating. I was literally sweating. That moment, I can't explain it. I was very scared of it. Even though I have been on stage 100 times, doing crazy things. But that moment was really scary. And I did a trick that helped me to overcome that problem. So the reason why the learners at Pufferfish and me in that place, we were stressed because of the future uncertainties. What if the audience don't smile for my joke? What if I mess up? What if I forget? So all of it is a future uncertainty. You can't control it. You're just scared of the future. The only way that you can get out of that situation is to stop thinking about the future and live in the present.
Yes.
Yeah, you live in the present. So I was thinking how to live in the present because when you have an event like that, how am I supposed to live in the present? I'm supposed to stress about that and think about it, obviously, right?
Yes.
So there are techniques that require your brain to fully focus on. For example, counting numbers, but backwards. From 75, count to 1, 75, 74, 73. You can't unconsciously count. You have to 100% engage in the task of counting it. So when you count like that, you are properly engaged with the present and not thinking about the future. So there are some other tips like doing push-ups. So then again, you can't think about the future, to be focused on the push-ups. So these little things help you be in the present. So I want to ask you, right before you delivered your speech, you know you're going next. Your name is about to be called. How are you feeling? And how did you manage that situation?
We weren't given a list of who's next.
Surprise.
It was a complete surprise.
We had a list, we just didn't give it to you.
I mean, that would have been worse if you had known that you're next.
Okay.
You'd be thinking, okay, oh my god, I'm next.
That's better.
I would find that worse.
Okay.
But I remember Anderson was the one who called me up on stage.
Yes.
And he said something about a cool guy. A cool guy.
Cool guy.
Okay, I was confused.
Who's the cool guy?
Who could it be? Like I was hoping some guy in shades would randomly show up.
Okay.
And then these kids are looking at me. I'm like, why are they looking at me? What did I do to be the cool guy? I'm not. And then he said, Umar Hakim, you know. Then I came up on stage. But can you go back to your question again?
Yeah, that was my question. How did you feel before you started your speech? How you feel that moment of being called, moment before being called, moment before starting your speech?
I think everyone had the same experience of like just like all these thoughts of like what you were supposed to say, what are you not going to say, what are you going to forget, what are you not going to forget. Everyone had the same feeling, and it was very let's say nauseous, you know, before you enter the
Yes.
stage. But then as soon as you enter the stage, you're like in a different world, you know. Some people just completely lose that anxiety feeling and just give that speech. Some people may not. But I definitely, when I got to the stage, I felt, when I got and before to the stage, I felt a bit, it was a very, it's like entering a portal, you know. It's a different world.
Yes, definitely. I think because you said Coach Anderson's hosting, I think he played his cards right. Because as a host and as a stand-up comedian, he knows the situation you're in. He knows your mind situation. So by giving that kind of build-up or introduction to you, you feel happy, right? Okay, I'm the cool guy. Come on. The cool guy is here. And the moment you get on stage, you feel a little bit more confident than you were because of that announcement and the introduction to you.
Definitely, yes.
So you need to thank him for that.
Yes.
And thanking pending. Okay. Let's talk about the speech. What did you talk about? What was the topic?
I think it was the importance of networking.
Okay. Tell me about the speech and why that topic?
That topic. I mean, networking. I mean, you already know, you must know a lot about networking and how important it is. But for the sake of the audience, it's, public speaking is like, you know, it's very in-depth in networking as well. You know, it's almost as they're brothers. And without networking, where would we be right now? Who would be what? Even
You wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here.
I think caveman was caveman. They call caveman. Yeah, they were better at networking than all of us, even though they barely used any words.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember talking about making connections and where we can do that, and making those connections were like, you know, that day I felt like I was making a full connection with the audience. You know, it was great. And the importance of networking, why I chose that topic. I chose that topic because I felt like, you know, it leads to what this is, you know, what I'm doing right now, you know.
Yes.
Networking is going to lead to everyone's future, actually.
True.
So I felt like it's good to tell the audience, you know, to show what they use on their day-to-day activities, you know, that importance of that, and we have to thank that we
Yes.
know this skill.
Yes. What was the challenge that you faced while preparing or while fine crafting the speech of yours?
It was definitely some points wise. I tried to understand each point, because if I were to memorize it, I would flop.
Definitely.
And it's a common mistake everyone does. But I didn't memorize it. I just understand every point. Like I would get a paper, write down what this topic is. Like that's different parts of this speech. So this topic, this is what it's about. This is the definition. Next topic, this is the definition. Just to understand it. It's like an equation. You just try to understand it. And the challenges, I definitely had a challenge of kind of forgetting of what I had to say, even though I didn't memorize it. Yeah.
Did you overcome it? You must have overcome.
Yeah,
How?
definitely more understanding than memorizing. I did understand, but there was a few memorizing in there. And I remember when I interacted with the audience, I kind of got into the audience instead of the speech. You know, what am I, a comedian? No, I'm trying to deliver a speech. Yeah.
When you say more understanding, because since childhood there's a big misconception. Not a misconception, it's also right. It's one way to look at it. Practice makes perfect. You practice, you won't forget on stage. But when I had this competition, I went through a few last minute changes. 6 hours before the competition, I was making changes in my speech. So then the advice that I was given was, you don't have to practice a speech 100 times to deliver it. You have to understand the speech 100 times in order to deliver it once. There's no one way to look at it. Practice 100 times and can deliver it. Understand it 100 times and deliver it. Both are right and both can work. I think you're following the understanding approach more than practice. Are you?
Yes, I would say.
Okay. One thing I wanted to ask. So you were a one-on-one communication person.
Yeah.
You communicate one-on-one. And was that the first experience where you delivered a speech to a mass audience?
Yes.
Mm.
It was shocking.
It was shocking. Which one is better, one-on-one or the mass audience?
I think it definitely depends on what you're talking about. Like if you're one-on-one, it could be personal. With an audience, you're going to be a bit formal, unless you know the entire group of people.
Mm.
But I find if you want to gain confidence and get used to interacting with people, then definitely having that big audience of a crowd would benefit you more.
Definitely. Okay. What are you currently doing? Anything with regards to these public speaking? Are you taking part in competitions, debates and stuff?
No, actually, being here today is one of my achievements. I find that being in this podcast is an achievement in life.
It is.
That I would have thought joining this, I would be in a podcast one day. I would have never thought. So.
Yes. So the words that you share right now is really impactful. Sometimes we think, what is there to learn from me? What is so cool about me? I'm just normal. We underestimate ourselves so much. But what is normal to you could be like, oh my God, that is so insightful. For some people, be like, oh my God, I had the same issue. You overcame your struggles. You had so many struggles, you overcame it. But there are people out there who are still figuring it out. And your words, what you think, oh, it's such a normal thing. Why can't you think about it? It's so obvious. Come on. Okay. But they will look at it. So that's the power of sharing what you have, sharing experiences, sharing stories. And I'm sure you did it well. Yeah, thank you. You mentioned it's an achievement to be in a podcast today.
Yes.
So after watching the recorded, edited version on YouTube, I'm sure your mind is going to change. Like, I need to do that as a profession. What if you think of being a YouTuber or a streamer or a podcast host one day? Would you take it?
I say, why not? Why not? If I have the skills and the equipment, everything, I think I would definitely dive in, I don't see what's stopping me.
Yes. So I think you need to start a YouTube channel right away.
You think so?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, we'll see.
You've got some interesting stories to share with people. And it's like this. When I was doing A-levels, I had the same idea. If I start a YouTube channel, who's going to watch my videos? Like, who am I to talk about things? That's the normal thing. I'm sure you also had the same idea. But there are youngsters. If you're doing your A-levels, there are O-level, grade 10, grade 9, grade 8, who might look up to you, but you're not aware of it. I'd be like, oh my God, I want to be like him. He's in the football team. I want to be a footballer like him. But you're not even aware of it. So that is the platform for you to share it. And they would never they would never express themselves like, oh my God, I'm a big fan of you. But when you put a video out there or story that might inspire them to follow the same journey, or they might get the answers that they were long craving for. So I think you need to start a YouTube channel. Share your stories, share your experiences. Yeah. Why not? What is there to lose?
I definitely see. I can see that in the future. I hope so.
So do you have a rough sketch at least of what you want to do? Even if you want to be an event manager, you need communication skills. Is public speaking important for event management? I think it is.
I think it very much is.
Yeah.
I don't know. An introvert as an event manager, it doesn't have to do with being an introvert. It has to just be general networking, isn't it?
Yes. I mean, if you're an event manager, you talk to new people every single day.
Yes.
And in case things don't work out as the way you plan, you'll have to step in and be like, take the mic and carry on with the event. That's all that is there.
Yes.
How important is public speaking for a person who is not into public speaking, who is thinking like, oh, what is there with public speaking? Like how you were with your gaming. Who would look at that? Who would go there? What would be the advice you would give to someone in the mindset?
I would say that they must definitely think that what they're doing is enough, as in not knowing public speaking and just continuing in life. I mean, you may have gone to events and spoken, that's public speaking, but otherwise just living along with life without knowing how to communicate with your voice to a large audience. And furthermore, that's really going to affect you in the long term, because one of those days you'll be in a situation where you did not plan, and you would be thankful to learn public speaking, that you learned public speaking.
Yes. Most of the public speakers unconsciously practice this. I practice this, you should practice this. Now, see, if we take something like a hammer or a screwdriver, it's a tool. You can use it for one purpose. What do you use a hammer for? It's a screwdriver. There's only one purpose for it.
Yes.
Most of the people out there use their voice like a tool. Same tone, same variations, same energy throughout their life. But if you take a life of a public speaker, they use their voice like an instrument. Take a guitar or a piano, for example. There's no one tool with it. Piano wouldn't do the same thing. Like a hammer would do the same thing over and over and over again. But piano would produce like different variations, different varieties, different genres of music. Voice is an instrument that public speakers knowingly or unknowingly practice. And you use it as an instrument, I believe. And I think you need to preach it to more people now. And that is why I suggest you to start the YouTube channel as well. Umar, do you have anything that you wish to share with the audience that I might have failed to ask as a host, and you might have been craving to share, like, ask this question, but I never asked it? Is there anything you want to share? An experience, a story with the audience?
Or could I ask the audience a question?
Go ahead.
Why not public speaking?
Why not public speaking? Thank you so much, Umar. We had a very insightful conversation.
Yes, we did.
Messi fan, Ronaldo fan. It's okay, we can leave it there. We don't have to fight and argue and kill each other for it. Just keep it there. And we'll try to get your video, upload it on YouTube and link it in the description below. If you find it in the description, go and watch Umar's video Umar's speech that he delivered in the milestone. Thank you so much, Umar. It was nice talking to you. Thank you for accepting the invitation and being here with us today. And thank you, audience, for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.